Earlier this week, Mark Zuckerberg announced that Facebook, the company, is changing its name to Meta to reflect its growing focus on the metaverse. It's a concept that is described as the next wave of computing. But there is more to this than meets the eye. Watch your report.
I am proud to announce that starting today, our company is now Meta.
What you've known as Facebook for years is now called Meta. The social network giant has changed its corporate name. Meta will oversee all of the Facebook company's products, including Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, and WhatsApp, as well as any new ones developed by the company. Founder Mark Zuckerberg wants people to believe that the name change underscores his broader ambitions. The world's largest social network wants to focus on building the metaverse, a virtual environment you can go inside of instead of just looking at on a screen. Zuckerberg unveiled a new logo for the company. He has replaced the traditional thumbs-up like with a blue infinity shape. The company has already replaced its corporate sign outside of its California headquarters with the new logo. Some people think it's a cross between the infinity symbol and a pair of AR or VR glasses. The rebranding of the company, however, isn't going down well with most. Alan Adamson, a marketing and branding expert who co-founded Metaforce, a marketing firm based in New York, says Zuckerberg is trying to create a distraction.
Timing is everything when launching a new brand, and this timing is really difficult because for most audiences, it will appear that he's become a little bit of the Wizard of Oz. If you remember that movie, pay no attention to the person behind the curtain. I'm just pushing the levers and, look forward, look at the future, look at the metaverse, and don't worry about what's happening on Facebook.
What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other would smell just as sweet. William Shakespeare uses this line in his play Romeo and Juliet to convey that the naming of things is irrelevant. Clearly, Mark Zuckerberg disagrees.
Our mission remains the same. It's still about bringing people together.
It's no coincidence that the rebranding exercise has taken place at a time when the social media giant is facing an existential crisis. Internal documents presented by Facebook whistleblower Frances Haugen exposed how the network turned a blind eye to dangerous content on its platforms. While Meta claims to be looking into the future, it needs to focus on cleaning up its existing mess first. Here is more.
Facebook has witnessed a string of controversies in its 17 years of existence. But now it may be facing its worst crisis ever. Once again, it is being slammed for operating its products irresponsibly. And this time there is fresh evidence to support the claim. A former Facebook data scientist turned whistleblower, Frances Haugen, says Facebook will fuel more episodes of violent unrest around the world because of the way its algorithms are designed to promote divisive content. Violence and instability in Myanmar and Ethiopia in recent years are the latest examples.
I have no doubt that the events we're seeing around the world, things like Myanmar and Ethiopia, those are the opening chapters because engagement-based ranking does two things. One, it prioritizes and amplifies divisive, polarizing, extreme content, and two, it concentrates it.
In India too, Facebook has been selective in curbing hate speech, misinformation, and inflammatory posts. In short, the company has been criticized for failing to police abusive content in countries where divisive speech was likely to cause the most harm. What we are going to tell you next is even more alarming. Internal company documents show that Facebook is aware that it hasn't hired enough workers who possess both the language skills and knowledge of local events that are needed to identify objectionable posts from users in a number of developing countries. The papers also show that the artificial intelligence systems Facebook employs to root out controversial content frequently aren't up to the task. For instance, in 2020, the company did not have screening algorithms known as classifiers. These would have helped in finding misinformation in Burmese, the language spoken in Myanmar, or hate speech in the Ethiopian languages of Oromo and Amharic. The list of accusations against Facebook is endless. Facebook employees claim internal efforts to mitigate such problems have often been brushed aside, especially when the solutions conflict with growth and profit. The social media titan may project that its intentions are good, but it hasn't done enough to address real issues. Facebook has lost the trust of millions of users. Its mission statement of, quote, bringing the world closer together lies in tatters. Investors too are displeased with the company's direction. To counter this, Facebook's public relations team is busy casting aspersions on the credibility of the whistleblower. Perhaps it should try fixing its own policies and algorithms first.